folks, so this isn't one of my typical videos, and I know it's a bit off topic from what we usually discuss here, but I just had to share the experience with you guys. It was awesome. I finally got the chance to attend CES, one of the biggest tech conventions in the world, right here in Las Vegas. Now, for those of you who don't know, CES is where all the latest and greatest tech is unveiled. It's a showcase of innovation with products that are either on the market now or coming in the near future. Now, this was my first time at CES, and honestly, my first time in Las Vegas, so I'll admit I was a bit overwhelmed at first. I didn't get to see everything. CES is massive, spread over 3 main campuses. But now that I know the ropes, I'll be ready to cover even more next year. Now, while I was exploring, I actually ran into Elehear, the team that makes the Elehear Beyond and the Elehear Alpha Pro. They had their own booth at CES, so I checked that out, and it was so great to catch up with them, see what they're working on, and they even showed me around a bit. It was an awesome experience. Now, let me take you guys along for the ride as we check out some of the coolest tech I saw at CES 2025.
I'll be fine as long as I'm with you.
So one of the first exhibits or booths that I stopped by was Roborock. Why? Because it was huge. All kinds of fancy displays. It just looked really, really cool. And I'm like, okay, I got to figure out what this is. Well, they're an appliance company. So they make robotic vacuums, kind of like the Roomba. But this will actually vacuum and mop your floor. But the crazy thing is its smart docking system. So it will actually dock up, empty out the dust, and will also wash the mop and refill the water tank. It's crazy. And one of the newest models, the Saros Z70, is the first mass-produced robotic vacuum with a foldable 5-axis mechanical arm that will actually pick up small obstacles or objects like socks, move them out of the way, and then clean the areas that were blocked before. It has this flexi arm technology that allows these 2 robotic arms to come out and actually get stuff from the corners. It can sweep and mop under furniture, and has what they call Adaptalift, which actually allows it to lift up the body or the chassis of the vacuum, and it can get over small bumps and obstacles like thresholds and different things like that. Definitely the smartest vacuum I've ever seen. Now, this next company, I don't know if it's necessarily good or not, but it was cool looking, and this is Echo. And Echo is a water bottle that has a device built in that will infuse the water with extra hydrogen. Now, when I got home, I did do some research on it to find out if extra hydrogen actually does anything for you. And from what I learned, there's some current research that extra hydrogen or hydrogen-rich water may potentially have some health benefits due to its antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties, potentially improving athletic performance, cognitive function, and reducing oxidative stress. But more research is needed to definitively confirm these benefits and the exact mechanisms involved. So it's safe to consume, but does it really do anything for you beneficially? I don't know. However, if you want to look really, really cool and maybe make some cool TikTok videos, this water bottle looks awesome, and it'll definitely get people asking you questions about it, what it does, and yeah, if nothing else, it looks cool. Now get ready, all you computer nerds out there like myself. This was my absolute favorite product. It's probably not even the coolest one, but for me, this hits home because I am a computer nerd through and through. This is a company called Yayen. Just like Elehear, they had their own suite, and they were actually right next door. So I'm like, you know what? I'll pop by, because when the door was slightly cracked, I could see all these cool colors shining through, like there was a UFO in the room. And then as soon as I got in, I realized, okay, I'm in heaven. So this is a computer company, and they make custom PCs for gamers, of course, like me. And so I thought, this is one of the first exhibits that I looked at. So I started recording the different computers, and then the person grabbed me and they said, hey, you might want to check this out. And I was like, ooh, this sounds interesting. So the lady walks me over and shows me this computer desk. Now, I have never seen a computer desk so awesome. Not only does this thing lift up and down, so you can change the height, but your computer is embedded in the middle of the desk. It was amazing looking. The first thing I thought of was I got to get my kids one of these so they can have the coolest computer on the block. So as you can see on top of the desk, there's a glass window that allows you to see inside the desk, which is where your computer is. So you actually install your motherboard, your RAM, the whole thing inside the desk, and then it's covered with this piece of glass. I asked them if it was available to purchase, and they said they're just checking it out. They wanted to show people at CES and kind of gauge the people's response, and are people excited about this? You guys need to find a way to contact this company and tell them, yes, we want this in the US immediately. They didn't give me a price, but I imagine just for the desk, it's probably going to be over $400 or $500, but worth every penny if you are a computer nerd like myself. Now this next one is pretty crazy, so you might want to buckle up. Let me introduce to you the Xpeng Aero. It is the land aircraft carrier modular flying car. Now let me explain. This is basically a 6-wheeled, fully drivable with a standard driver's license electric car that inside stores a fully operational electric drone that you can fly in and operate yourself with just a joystick. This thing is absolutely badass and I want one. Now the ground vehicle, what they call the mothership, is a very spacious 4-seater that they say easily fits into any standard parking space. It has integrated headlights, electric foldable rear view mirrors, and electric dual swing doors. And one of the really cool things about it is while you're driving it, it's actually charging the drone. The aircraft has electric vertical takeoff and landing, a 270-degree panoramic cockpit so that you can see absolutely everything, and the rotor blades are made of carbon fiber, so super lightweight and very durable. And while in the aircraft, everything is operated by just a single joystick, or what they call the first ever single lever control system. And in case you get scared while you're up there, they have full process intelligent flight assistance. So basically one-touch automatic takeoff with route planning and autonomous navigation. This thing is insane and something I wouldn't expect to see for many more years to come. It's crazy. Now, before you get your hopes up and think that you're going to be able to buy this thing and jump in and start flying, you're going to have to pump the brakes a little bit because you will need a light sport aircraft license to operate this thing. And it's expected to cost around $280,000 USD. And just to give you an idea, one of the cheapest civilian affordable helicopters is probably the Skycraft Scout, and that's going to cost you around 22 grand. So this is going to be pretty expensive. But nonetheless, it is freaking awesome. Now, the reason I'm including these next two, they're not really groundbreaking or anything, but they are so cute, and I immediately thought of my daughter, Mina. She absolutely loves robots. I got her a couple for Christmas, and she's in love with them. So that's why I want to show you guys the Luna robot. This little pup is probably one of the cutest things I saw at CES, and I know my daughter's going to love it. It's just kind of spendy at like $450. The thing that I really like about it is it actually has some personality. It can get sad, it can get happy, it can become annoyed, and if it likes you, it'll follow you around all over the place like it did with me. It recognizes a ton of different gestures, it'll play games with you, it'll fist pump you if you put your hand up to it. It is so cool. It uses ChatGPT for the AI side of things, so you can talk to it, interact with it, etc. And also offers 2 hours of continuous playtime, and when it's done, it'll actually return to the charging dock and charge all by itself. I was trying to get some good shots of it, and the lady put it on the floor so that it would interact with the different people, but so with my daughter, if I wanted to, I could set her as the owner and it will follow her all around and kind of not ignore everyone else, but definitely take most interest in her. And it's doing this because it has facial recognition. Took one look at me and it just followed me around everywhere. It was so funny. So the method I used to find all the cool stuff that everyone's talking about is I just went to whatever had the biggest crowd. And this next one also had a huge crowd. It's called Yukai Engineering, and the product it was showcasing is called, I thought it was Petite at first, but then I noticed it was Pet It. Really cute stuff, but kind of strange. So I walked up to the girl that was showcasing it and I'm like, okay, so what's special about these little stuffed animals? She grabs the little bear and she's like, stick your finger in its mouth. I'm like, what? And she's like, no, go ahead. It's cute. And so I stuck my finger in the bear's mouth and it closed on it like it was sucking on it. I was like, okay, this is kind of strange. And then I look over, they had this couch with these little pillows on it with a little tail on the pillow. And she went up and petted the pillow and the tail started wagging. So I guess they're marketing these things as something to, I don't know, make you not feel as lonely. And these are basically like stuffed animals or little toys that interact with you when you interact with them. So again, very strange and kind of awkward, but very interesting to say the least. They also have this little critter that you can attach to either your arm or maybe a light post or your desk, or what they showed, a purse. And it just kind of looks around, you know, looks to the left, looks to the right, blinks its eyes. It's really cute, but again, just very, very strange. Now, out of this entire CES event, again, I wasn't able to check out absolutely everything, but I am going to next year if I'm able to make it next year. But I did manage to track down a couple different hearing aid companies. And one of them is Elehear Luxottica, and I'm not even sure I'm pronouncing that correctly. You guys may have heard of the new Meta glasses, but you probably haven't heard of a company called Nuance Audio who they've partnered with. And these guys have developed a pair of glasses that offer directional hearing amplification. That's right. These things have 6 different microphones, 4 in the front and 2 on the sides. And with these 6 microphones, it allows them to offer both noise reduction and directional microphones using beamforming technology that's found in a lot of the other advanced hearing aids. Now, when I first saw them, I thought maybe they were using a bone conduction method to deliver the audio, but it's not. It's just 2 little speakers right next to your ears. And they call this open ear architectural speaker. And yes, you can either use these as sunglasses or prescriptive lenses. And they also offer the Nuance Audio app that lets you customize and adjust your hearing aids just like most other brands out there. The only issue, and I think it's just a temporary one, is they are not available in the United States. They're waiting for FDA approval. They come in 2 different colors, either black or a burgundy color, in 2 different styles, the square style and what they call the Panthos style. Now, I did wear them for about, 30 seconds in a very noisy environment, and I did notice some amplification. It was just kind of strange, and I would definitely need more testing to see if they're actually going to be helpful, but I don't know, very intriguing and pretty exciting. One nice thing is you would never guess that these were hearing aids because the way that they place the microphones, those 2 little dots on the front of the glasses on each side are actually those microphones. So pretty exciting stuff. When they do pass FDA approval, I would love to get my hands on a set and do a full review for you guys. Now, I have a ton of other stuff that I recorded, a lot of other cool things, but 2 things. First of all, are you guys even interested in this stuff? I didn't really think so because this is a hearing aid channel. And second, I didn't want this video to be like my usual 40-minute long videos, just boring you to death. So I'm going to close this one out with a very important company and one that does pertain to this channel, and that is Elehear. Now, you guys might be thinking, well, why Elehear? This is just a over-the-counter hearing aid company. There's a million of them, right? Well, there may be a million different OTC brands popping up all over the place, but what separates Elehear from a lot of the others that I reviewed are 2 things. One, they are low cost, coming in at $400, and they're probably one of the only low-cost hearing aids in that range that actually work. I've done a lot of over-the-counter reviews of mediocre companies. Yeah, they kind of work, but as soon as you introduce them to noise or as soon as you go into a noisy place, they just kind of fall apart. Well, that's where Elehear comes in. This is one of the few OTC brands out there that I gave a glowing review, but the only one out there that is under $500 that actually works in noise. And I'm not the only one that's noticed this. Not only did they get a very good review from HearAdvisor, which is a place a lot of people trust, but they got the Expert Choice Award, which is pretty hard to get with them, and I can see why. CES also awarded them with 2 different awards, the Twice Pick for 2025 and the Top Picks Award from USA Today. Like I said in the full review that I did with them, it's easy for a company to amplify voices and amplify dialogue. It is much more difficult to be able to separate those voices from the background noise, and that is what they've accomplished for only $400. Not an easy feat. I overheard a competing brand talking to them saying, "We don't know what you guys are doing in your R&D department, but you've either found the Holy Grail or somehow came up with your own secret sauce, but keep doing what you're doing." And I couldn't agree more. And for anybody out there that does have hearing loss and you're looking for a backup pair of hearing aids, or maybe want to dip your toes in the waters of the OTC world, go ahead and give them a shot. I have a link for them in the description. And I do want to give a special thank you to Elehear. If you guys would have never reached out to me those 2 years ago, I would have never had the opportunity to try these hearing aids out and never had the opportunity to share them with the world and let all these folks that have hearing loss know that there's something out there affordable that can actually work. So thank you, and I'm sure many of our viewers thank you as well. I just want to thank you guys all for watching. If you guys think I wasted my time with this, hey, let me know in the comments. If there's any of you out there that would like to see more tech reviews and some of the other cool things that didn't make it in the video, please let me know. Leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will catch you on the flip side.